Namaste, my friends, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to share with you my insights on the full moon, which happens to be tonight. It's the first full moon of the year. Happy New Year, by the way. And at the end of the video, I have a special announcement. If you stick around the whole video, then you can go ahead and listen to that as well. But in the meantime, I will go ahead now and break down the full moon update as I normally do into a few different themes to help clarify my message. So number one, I feel like it's setting the tone already this morning of this new year that we're plowing into, being thrust or pulled into at great speeds with great acceleration towards great exciting ends and endeavors. At the same time, due to the speed and intensity, we might feel that acceleration with an increased rate at which we process through our inner resistance as we get closer to the light. So I feel like this year, again, as a whole, we're given a glimpse of how it's, in essence, going to be characterized with tonight's full moon, which again, it's speed, it's excitement, it's transformative, and it's time. It's time. It's about time that we get into a much higher degree of alignment with our soul's essence so we can do what we came to do and be who we came to be. But the onset of this type of energy can be sometimes not disorienting, but there's just an intensity to it. So you might feel sensitive, you might feel kind of your mood might be fluctuating, your optimism / pessimism meter might be going like that, like, oh my god, I can do anything, oh no, life is horrible now. It can just be all over the place, but that's okay. We're just getting used to the speed, and as always, as we've been doing this entire time, we've been speeding up this whole time, gradually getting faster, and whenever there's a big push, there's a slight period of adjustment, and then there's a settling in and a sense of comfort and benefits to the new speed. And the speed is what we want. The speed is benefiting us. The speed is taking us from A, the egoic character, to B, the more enlightened version of our future selves, faster and faster and faster and faster. Number two is kind of a two-part thing. I feel like it's sorry, I didn't start breathing before I started talking. I feel like it's going to help us. It's like a culmination of the whole. We've been going through a theme lately that has been helping us balance ourselves in a practical way. Balance our lifestyle, our diet, our priorities, and just the little odds and ends, the way we structure, the way we go through a day in life can sometimes cause us to decide that we want to modify it for various reasons, because the more in alignment we get, the more we can perceive anything, even something as small as a mix-up of how you schedule your time can hold a much more of a consequential type of off-putting energy and consequence. So you just might be, the more sensitive you get, the more you refine your life. And most of us are fairly unbalanced, and the awakening is helping us become more balanced. Also, there's a new element, I feel, involving our priorities, our fundamental priorities. What is actually important to us? What amount of energy? We only have so much energy. Where are we putting that? Are we putting that into directions that are actually meaningful, or are we kind of on these egoic tangents that we've just sort of fallen into and made the habit of perpetuating? I'll give an example. I woke up this morning, and for whatever reason, I was having kind of like this is not something I always have, and it was kind of subtle, but it was more somewhat reminded me of what people say when they have a life review. I wasn't having a review of all of the negative experiences in my life. I just woke up flooded with memories, old memories of my life, where I felt the most joy and connected. And one of them that comes to mind, I remember how it felt when I shared with my family and my friends that I was getting married, and just how excited I was. There was just such a strong energy of everyone being happy for me. It was like we were all in our hearts, and it was a beautiful moment. And I'm finding a lot, and this mini life review had a lot of moments, a lot of times like that coming to my awareness. I haven't thought about that in, I don't know, a decade, a long time. But I was reminded of just like, wow, this is what comes back. This is what I've retained. This is a priority. And it's very easy because we get stressed out with the burdens of life to lose sight of that. And I feel like we're being helped kind of like grounded in more of like what is actually important to us. And that's something I experienced today, and it's been kind of a theme in my life as well. Areas of my life where I have been not properly prioritizing my time and energy have been making themselves known. And it's just inspired me to make some changes, not huge changes, but some changes in my mindset and the way I perceive through life. And even though the inspiration to do those things came about from the stress of recognizing that something's out of place, I'm thankful for it because now I can be more rebalanced. So anyways, I try to take all of the situations that come to light that cause me, that give me a potential to make positive changes. I try to look at them with appreciation and not so much resistance because I know what they're doing for me. Number 3, and this is sort of a spin-off of the first one, because we're going in this new direction fairly quickly, sometimes there's a lot of letting go. A lot of letting go of something that brings us a sense of security, and it can be scary because we're kind of in that limbo. We're heading towards something and we're letting go of a bunch of stuff now. And it seems like, I wish I was a little further ahead before I let go so drastically. But I recommend, just from experience, to allow the letting go and simply do your best with not being so stressed out in your mind. It's hard, I realize, but I found that clinging, it doesn't do anything. It's pointless. If you cling to something that's attempting to leave your life, whether it be a job, a relationship, or just smaller aspects of your life, if you cling, then that's where there's real big problems. That's where things escalate in a negative way. And you're all intuitive enough to where you can tell, I bet most of you anyway, by now, there's a sense of knowing when things are pulling away suddenly, even though it has like a fear response. There's a sense of knowingness that it's meant to be, and it's something else is going to replace it, and you can trust that. So my advice is to just let go. The more you can let go of what's no longer serving you, the more you can allow in. And this new energy is trying to help you allow a lot in. There's a massive positive push now. And again, it's not always, it's not a settling feeling, but it's super, super positive. And if you feel like, I feel like if you guys can just dip into your knowing and stay out of your head and just watch the magic happen. Number 4, this push forward might also be bringing awareness to maybe some of the dead weight you're carrying in the form of egoic resistance or resistances, whatever. You might find that, geez, like I'm trying to do this thing or get here or be this or overcome this and achieve this, but it can be so frustrating and clear to you just how much your conditioning is holding you back, because you now know that having a clear space of positive intention is paramount in leaping forward into this new version of yourself. But the old self, it dies hard. It doesn't want to let you do that. So it grabs you, and this can manifest in just really uncomfortable and negative emotional states that you've had many times, like just negative thinking, negative emotional states, a cynical attitude. But you're so aware now, you realize this cynical attitude is just going to be, it's going to block you basically from getting where you want to get, but it's hard to shake. It's a bad habit. But usually when it gets to this point where you're really becoming like ticked off with yourself, it's because you're so close to transcending it, and you just need to be maybe a little bit more frustrated before you're like, enough. enough. What gives? I'm done. I let go into the moment, and then you allow more of yourself to kind of finally break through. So just do your best with that. Number 5, I just kind of want to stress the whole thing. As I've been saying now, it's like I feel like there's a big path opening up that's of great magnitude and holds a lot of positive energy in it for everybody. And sometimes it can be so big and so different that it can cause you to consider not embracing it. But I invite you to trust in your perception of the energy of the situation. It's always the most accurate way to assess you, and you're becoming so clear now that it's obvious what is of a high degree of resonance and compatibility, whether it be a job, relationship situation, etc., or the opposite of something that's not at all compatible. Sometimes we find ourselves extremely drawn and synchronistically guided to something that is of great compatibility and resonance and excitement, but our mind is like, okay, you've gone too far. This is too wild to be even contemplating. But I say, go for it. I'll give you an example. My wife has had a fairly static life, in a sense, for the last several years. She's been playing the role of the mom. She's been I have 3 children, an 8-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 2-year-old, and she takes care of them. I work, I do my thing, and she helps me. But anyway, a lot of her life has been about, as of the last 8 years, being the mom. And all of a sudden, she has I see myself in her. I was always trying to like, hey babe, you should maybe, have you thought about like doing, like I felt like her having a sense of purpose she might enjoy that. But she always was like, no, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do now. Okay, I understood, and I support that. But now it's like this whole wave of this new inspiration has woken up inside of her. She feels like she wants to like pursue shamanism, which is very out there not out there, but just it's different, nothing she would have expected. And she's feeling called to go to Peru and take place in these like ceremonies, these like ayahuasca and San Pedro's and mushroom ceremonies all in Peru. And she's been looking online and devouring books about shamanism and ayahuasca and all this kind of stuff. And she just feels extremely called to it. But to her, it's like, wow, I was sitting in my life fairly static. And the idea of traveling to Peru in this remote little kind of like remote area, this like small hotel with these people, it's just such a weird concept to her. She's never been away from the kids that long, not even close for a week, not a week. But anyway, she's familiar with this process and she's going for it. But in the past, I would have anyway, and people I would talk to, we would have a similar degree of fondness for a new idea. But it's very easy. It's not a given because the ego is strong and it can say, no, we're not doing this now. It's not the right time. And just, no. And then that wave has come and it's crashed and it's over and you missed it. So I encourage you, if there's a big wave that you got your sights on, to go for it. You would not have that resonance for it if it was not possible and perfect for you. But it is a free will game here, folks, so it does require maybe a bit of courage. But I'm just saying to trust, not Victor, trust yourself. Because what I just said is something you've been telling yourself this whole time. So that's my message for the full moon, my friends. I wish you well in this coming year and tonight. I hope you had fun last night, having a good time today. Hopefully you're chilling out, relaxing. And now, real quick, I'll go ahead and get into the announcement I'm going to make, okay? So I've been working very hard over the past few months on a new platform which will allow people like you, my viewers, to work with me in a more intimate level beyond the scope of just gleaning insights from my YouTube videos. Up until now, I've been doing one-on-one coaching, and I sell some programs as well, but they're very limited in the amount of people I can reach because I can only handle so many one-on-one clients. And my programs, they're like follow along, but I'm not really there participating once you get them. So what I've decided to do is create an online coaching platform where you can be coached by me essentially for a lot less than it would cost you to hire me or any one-on-one mentor type of figure. And the way it's going to be laid out, you'll be part of a membership site a private community, which will of course attract like-minded people that vibrate and resonate with the energy that comes through in my videos. But you'll be able to ask me actual questions in real time. I'll be doing live Q&As. I'll have that private Facebook community which I participate on regularly and answer questions and hang out. And also you'll have my entire coaching program that I offer to my one-on-one clients available as well. And it's a lot cheaper than if you were to hire me as a one-on-one sort of coach. So anyway, if you guys have been wanting to work with me and maybe you applied to coach with me, I never got back to you because I was booked, or maybe you didn't feel like you could make that kind of investment, but you still wanted my guidance, then that's perfect for you. My wife is also involved in it as well. She's going to be helping and participating to kind of offer a female perspective. Many of you have seen her on my videos and have come to like her as well. But anyway, if any of that sounds interesting to you, I will leave a link down below. I just launched it today, this morning. It's now available officially, and there'll be a discount until January 5th. So if that is at all interesting to you, you can go ahead and check that out. Otherwise, I wish you nothing but the best. I hope you have an amazing day, and thank you all for your support and just being with me this last year. And I'm very excited to head into this new year with you as well. Have an amazing day. Peace.